Hi everyone, this is Lenny from David's Shield, and today I'm going to be talking about circles of protection, or what we refer to as security bubbles. For the rest of the lesson, we're going to be talking around security bubbles, and really what this is it's a concept that is used across security agencies, whether it's the FBI, whether it's private security, it doesn't really matter, in terms of how do we secure things that are special to us, near and dear to us. What I mean by that is it's our homes, our places of worship. It could even be our businesses, whatever it might be that we want to secure. And there's a strategic approach that we need to take in order to create these bubbles or security bubbles and protect what's important to us, which is inside. I personally always like using the analogy of an onion, which we know is made up of several layers. And what it basically means is that the center of the onion is what we want to secure, is what's most important to us. So for example, if it's the case of a church or an institution or a place of worship, that would be the center where everyone is congregating, where the priest is going to be delivering a sermon or whatever it may be, if it's a function. That is what we want to protect. That is what is most important to us. And then coming back to the onion analogy, as we move out, every layer of the onion represents another bubble or another circle of protection that we want to put around our center or the nucleus of what we want to protect. And really what that comes down to is we want to try and have bubbles as far away from our center as we can manage, because the further we are away from what we want to protect with these bubbles means that we can pick up and stop potential threats or potential attacks that may take place long before they get into our area that is most important to us. If we're talking about an institution or a place of worship, that would, as I say, be where the event is taking place. If it's our homes, it's where we're living, it's the area where our families are. That's what we want to keep safe. And in order to create these bubbles, we then obviously need to use various means. The one is to have physical security means in place. That could be walls, that could be closed circuit television cameras, and a bunch of physical security measures, which is only one step in the process. The next step is to have physical human bodies on the ground, and these are really the best option. And depending on how many people we have, obviously would depend on how we place them. But again, the idea is to create layers or bubbles from the center moving out, and we want to, as far as possible, move as far away from what we want to protect so that we can pick up potential threats, potential suspicious activity, or an active attack long before it comes into the area that we want to protect. And in order to make sure that our center is protected, so again, using the analogy of the onion, there's two phases in terms of securing that which we want in the center to be secure. The first stage is we need to start on the inside and we got to work out. What do I mean by that? I mean that when we are having a function in a church, at an institution, a hall, it doesn't really matter what it is, before we can secure the outside, we need to ensure that the actual site of the occasion, whatever it might be, if it's a church service on a Sunday or a talk, whatever it may be, we need to first make sure that the actual center of the onion is secure. What do I mean by that? It means that before people arrive, at least an hour, possibly two before, depending on the size of the area we need to secure, we need to make sure that we have done a full sweep of the entire premises, make sure that there are no suspicious objects around, make sure that there's no suspicious people around. if possible, close that area off once it has been searched and deemed to be a safe space. And then we move on to the next bubble or the next layer of the onion, and we keep moving out until, based on the amount of manpower we have, the amount of physical security we have, we get to where our outermost bubble would be. And then we effectively know that everything from the inside out has been deemed sterile or safe. And then we set up our bubbles of security from the outside moving back in again. What do I mean by that? So, for example, you don't want people to be able to walk through the front door of the institution or the church, or again, whatever it may be. So you would obviously need to have a person that is going to perform some kind of access control to make sure that people coming in are screened, that people that are coming in, that person is happy that they fit there, that they belong, and that they don't form any kind of possible threat. And that's a different discussion. We'll get onto that. But that is the first layer or bubble of security. We're then going to move out. And again, depending on manpower, we will place people strategically to be able to view the outer limits of the installation, to be able to see activity that's happening around, possibly vehicles that are moving up and down, suspicious people, etc., etc. And as I said, the more people we have, the further out we can move our bubble. And the further out we can move the bubble means that we can ensure the safety and the security through each stage and layer of the onion. We can ensure that what is inside is kept as sterile and as clean as possible, and ultimately ensure the safety of those attending the service.
For more information on our education and training, please visit www.davidshieldfoundation.org.